Wearability.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of the Legacy Mighty Morphin Green Ranger helmet from the Power Rangers Legacy line. The last large-scale helmet we're going to be getting from Bandai, hello my hands, because Bandai has been canceled for next year for Power Rangers toys, so it's one of the last Legacy releases in general. I wanted to start with the box because I know some people don't like this. That makes it sound like I wanted to start it off to piss those people off. No, but I wanted to start it off because I did want to point out that I actually really like this sleek style packaging they have for the new Legacy stuff before they quit for the helmet design, because the last one for Red tried to use like the kind of retro style packaging, but there was never a helmet released. So it was like, they're like, hey, what would this look like if it was released in the 90s? And I thought it was kind of awkward. And I don't know, I think this looks kind of sleek and neat. For those of you who like to keep the boxes, like I kind of like to keep this one out for now. The only other thing I wanted to note about the box is, you'll see why in a minute, but I want you to pay special attention to the way the Green Ranger's helmet looks in a show shot. But now let's go ahead and get to the actual main event. Okay, so here we have it out of box, and you can sort of see the problem that I was hinting at when I asked you to pay attention to that side image. The helmet is too skinny. That's the glaring problem that some people have pointed out. And yeah, in general, I've always felt the Green Ranger helmet is a little bit more slender, sleeker than like Red's, but not to this extent. Like if you take a side-by-side shot of this and, like, you know, the show helmet, it's definitely more fat, for lack of a more technical and well thought out term. And it's weird because Red's isn't, you know, there's no really huge problems I have with Red. I mean, it might not be perfect, but I don't really have any problems where I really notice that it's too thin or too fat. It's just right. It's like the, you know, the Three Bears of helmets. And this is kind of disappointing because I was looking forward to this one a little bit more. I like the Green Ranger helmet a little bit more. I don't think it's 100% awful. Look at my hands. That's Dawson playing piano. No, that was weird. Because, like, for me, you know, I just want it for display like the other ones. It's just kind of a nice, simple display, and maybe put it on every now and then when I'm in a fun mood. And for the most part, it works. Like, sitting here, like, oh, it's just at an angle. Like, if it's sitting on my shelf or on display, it honestly looks okay. It could absolutely be better, and I definitely think it's an annoying issue, but it doesn't look the 100% worst. I think the plastic looks good. I think the green color looks good. I feel like there's varying tones of green the helmet's been at various times, but I think I'm fine with this. I think they got the shine right. The visor looks good. The white paint here and the silver paint here are well done. It contrasts nicely. Nice shiny silver paint on the soft silver lips. But yeah, like the main problem is he's just too... It's just too skinny. This is like I'm comforting him. Like, it's okay, Tommy. Yeah, I know you got killed by Draken. But yeah, it's just... That's really the main issue. Everything else, I mean, it feels pretty much like the other helmet. You do get this stand here, which obviously you can see it says Green Ranger in case you forgot who you bought it from. But it feels, you know, like the other ones. This one almost feels heavier, maybe a little bit heavier, but just a little bit more weighty. It feels a little bit more... I don't want to say worth the money, because that's a weird way of putting it, but like when I pick it up, it feels more substantial, I guess. I think it's because the plastic is sort of more compact, so it makes it feel a bit heavy, because like you have all the plastic sort of coming together. That makes it sound weird, but like, you know, with Reds, it's more spread out, you know, so that could be it. I don't know. I might just be making nonsense up, which is just my reviews, but I think it just feels a little bit nicer. But that's pretty much all I can say about it with this. Just a quick look to show you, you know, putting it on. I don't know why I took this off, because I meant to do this. I'll show what you need to do, and then I'll do a quick little cutaway of me having it on. But just like before, you kind of pull these little tabs, and it releases this, and this hinges up. And then right here is kind of an adjustment strap for your head. You put that on, and then when you do, you just kind of line it back up and then put it on your head. And we will quickly now cut away to me having it on my head. Okay, so we have it on me here. I don't know how well you can hear me, but I want to point out that this actually doesn't look so bad when you're looking at me head on. When I was looking at the mirror putting this on and now looking at the camera, honestly it's not as bad narrow-wise as when I'm looking at it in the camera in the third person, so honestly, it's not that bad. But yeah, that's pretty much about it. Overall, I think this thing looks mostly nice, with the most glaring problem being the weirdly thin profile. It's not noticeable from all angles, so like for me, I'm kind of okay with it, just because, like I said, I just want it for display. I'm not too hugely upset about it. The only other thing I wanted to note detail-wise is there's these little lines here that stretch across here that's part of the design that kind of look like scratches. It's a little bit more prominent on this side. I feel like they stand out a little bit, which is annoying. I didn't want to forget that, but this is a weird recommendation to get to here at the end because this is the last Bandai America helmet we're getting. I don't know if Hasbro would do something like this in the future. We don't know. It's way too early to tell. We're still like a little less than a year away / a year away from finding out what they're going to be doing. But this is like the last helmet we'll get officially for a while. So it's really hard to get to a recommendation because I don't know how long it'll be before we get something like this, and I don't know how rare this will become if you're on the fence about it and decide you want it later. It was kind of hard to gauge which legacy items would become expensive and hard to find, and which ones would go down in price before, but now that Bandai's stopping making products, I'm not sure what this is going to do. Right now it's roughly about $100, give or take, if you get it from Big Bad Toy Store or Amazon. But I'm not sure. This thing could very well end up being like $40-50 by Christmas time on Amazon. Or you could end up having to pay $200 for it on eBay by next summer because they're scarce. So I don't know how it's going to go. I'm just going to say that if you really want a quick, easy Green Ranger helmet, you know, and you don't want to look around for any prop makers or anything, and you're kind of out for what I'm out for, I think this will be okay, but it definitely could have been a better job, especially since they did, honestly, a pretty solid job of the proportions on the Red Ranger helmet. Anyway, that's about it. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's Dawson Rider, signing out.